Hello students, in this module we will be doing the latter part of chapter 4, and that is your elections. So under this we have done earlier the kinds and types of elections. Now we will be doing the election commission. So as for election commission, we should be understanding what is election commission and who is the election commissioner. Regarding this, we see, as in your books it is, election is the best way by which representatives of the people are basically sent to the legislatures. Legislature is the place where laws and rules are made. So India, being a federal country, makes provisions for holding elections both for the center also as well as at the state level also, so that state rules regulations can be made by the people represented by the people of that state, and for the entire country, rules and regulations could be made by the people represented by the people of the entire country. Hence, elections need to be free and fair with wide participation, and therefore, keeping this in view, great impact and significance of elections, the Constitution has made detailed provisions for free and fair conduction of the elections, and they are given in Part 15 of our Constitution under Article 324 to 329. So with this, we can say what is the composition of election commission, what all the things are there which makes an election commission. Here we see Article 324 from clause 1 to 6. It tells about the composition of election commission and other issues which are related to it. The chief election commissioner stands at the top in the hierarchy of all the posts. So the head is the chief election commissioner. The chief election commissioner consists of the chief election commission, that consists of the chief election commissioner, and along with them there are two other election commissioners. Earlier there used to be only one particular person as the chief election commissioner, so it was an organization or a house or a particular department with one man. But now there are three people, those who are involved with it. It was from 1950 to 1989 the election commission was a single person organization, but after 1989 the election commission was made a multi-member body, and therefore two more additional election commissioners were added along with the chief election commissioner. And so at present, election commission is a body of 3 members. So the chief election commissioner and the other commissioners are all appointed by the president, and this is done on the behest of the prime minister as it is given in Article 74 of our Constitution. The regional election commissioner are also appointed by the president in consultation with the election commission. So for regional means for the states, election commission and commissioners are appointed by the president, but the central election commission, they are the one who help and guide the president. And for the central election commission, the commissioners and all, they are appointed with the suggestion of the prime minister. So what are the terms and conditions associated with the working of this particular department? So we can say the Parliament of India has passed an act of 1994, and that was as laid down in Article 324 under clause 5 of the Constitution. Under this act, the term of office and conditions of the election commissions and other commissioners are also determined. All the terms and conditions regarding this particular department and the office. So here we can say that there are three main important things that are related to it. First is the tenure, time period and age. They are appointed, all the election commissioners, chief as well as the others, all three of them are appointed for a term of 6 years. But the catch is, during this time, if they become they attain the age of 65 years, they will have to resign the very next day or the same day as and when they become 65 years of age. So that is the age of their retirement. They'll have to vacate the office at the age of 65, even if that falls in between those 6 years of their tenure. The salary and other such of commissioners, main as well as the others, it is equal to the salary of the Supreme Court judge, and they are entitled for a pension also after their retirements. That means 6 years of work, and after that, after the retirement, they get a lifetime pension. Any difference of opinion between the election commissioners and other commissioners is decided in favor of the majority. As we know, there are 3 members and there cannot be no veto or nothing, no neutral person. So in that case, the departments, whatever the decision has to be taken, is taken by the majority 2:1. So that is how the decisions are taken. Then there are important functions of the municipal commission. So in regards to this, first is preparation of electoral rolls and photo identity cards. So they are the ones who make a general survey how many people are the eligible voters, that means above the age of 18 and citizens of India, and they will be the one, their names, father name, every detail of their particular life of their main being citizen is recorded, and then their name is entered in the electoral rolls, the sheets, the papers through which number of candidates, number of voters can be counted. So the electoral rolls are updated from time to time. You must have seen people coming to your places during the elections, or not during, before the elections, so that proper names and everything, details about them, those family members, can be updated. That is census also, and that is regarding your particular electoral rolls also. So that is done. The commission identifies eligible voters, and after identifying them, the eligible voter list is prepared, according to which they can understand how many votes from a particular area they would be receiving. And so this is called voter list, the preparation of these lists on the basis of the eligible voters. Besides that, in order to carry out this function, the photo identity cards are also given to these. Like you must have heard about in your family also, people talking about the voter ID card. So voter ID card is basically the identity given to you, so that people know that you are an eligible voter, and they can take your name down over there in the electoral rolls and count you as one of the eligible voter for the elections. Next important role or work of the election commission is registration and recognition of political parties. Nobody can just stand up and say I want to fight and get into the elections, participate in the elections as a member for a particular seat. They have to be registered, recognized, and only then they can be a political party or political group, because now we have elections on the party lines. So in that case, election commission comes handy, and they are the one who register and recognize the political parties, the new ones especially. And then besides that, another important function is allotment of the symbols. Now you must have seen whichever, like Congress, BJP, AAP, all of them, when they basically fight the elections, they have their reserved symbols. So there are symbols which are like the hand, like the lotus, like the broom. So all these things are basically the symbols given to them party, so that people, even those who are not educated people, even they can vote for them just by looking at the picture or the symbol, and this symbol represents their particular party or the group. Now that is another reason why we have this particular symbols. But on contrary, talking about the symbols, we can say symbols are also of two categories. One are reserved, the others are not reserved. So those parties which are widely recognized, they have a proper record of always having elections, and they are stable, they get a certain symbols reserved for them, like Congress, BJP, BSP, all of them, they have their bigger parties have their symbols reserved. But for new members, for the independent people, they usually, if they might be fighting elections this time, they might not fight it next time, or maybe they might not be a regular person who is standing in the elections, so a new person coming up. So in that case, they usually get various symbols, and these symbols are not their choice, they usually get it from the election commission, so that when people vote for them, they should not be voting by the name, by the picture, but by the image of the symbol that is given to them. So all these symbols are registered and given to the parties as well as to the new members by the election commission. Then fixing the dates and conducting elections, that is decided by the election commission only. It is a big and a massive and a countrywide you can say procedure that has to be done in terms of central elections. Even in terms of state elections also, they have to do at the state level in all the parts of the state. So it is a huge you can say responsibility to do the elections properly done, proper security, safeguarding the votes, and everything is done smoothly. So the proper dates and proper conduction, proper allotment of the centers and duties, everything has to be managed, and all this is managed by the election commission. And lastly, we can say the ensuring free and fair elections. People should not be voting for a particular person or a member or a party under any compulsion or any force, or they should not be bribed, and there should not be proxy voting, that means somebody giving vote for by the other people's name, or maybe fraudulent is done. So all these things have to be checked, and they have to have a keen eye on proper functioning of the elections So this is all done, and this is all the duty of Election Commission. They won't come and check, but they will make provisions that proper security and checkup is done for all these you can say things are fraud things are stopped, or they can be checked, so that fair elections can be done and properly can be done. Then appointment of polling officers. There are people, those who get duties during these elections, the government officers, government people, they have to be on the polling officers polling booth in various places. How they will go, where they will reside, how will they will conduct, what all their offices and duties will be, centers would be, everything has to be decided upon pre-hand, so that when elections are done there is no confusion and people are already there in their polling stations, polling booths. Everything has to be maintained, and this has to be done properly by the people appointed over there, and this is checked by the Election Commission. Each constituency is put under the overall supervision of an officer not less than the rank of a deputy commissioner of the district or the magistrate. So DM is the one basically we are talking about. The officer is designated as the returning officer. It is his responsibility to declare a candidate fit for contesting elections, and at the time of elections, presiding officers in charge of polling booths and counting centers are also appointed. So that is how the proper elections are conducted by the supervision of Election Commission. Next is scrutiny of the nomination papers. This is a process which comes after the elections, or just during the time of elections, that once a particular party or a particular member has submitted his papers as being a member for the elections, as a candidate for the elections, then it is the returning officer has to verify whether the provisions concerning the deposit, election symbol, election agent, etc. all have been fulfilled, they are fair, they are correct. Only then the person will be recognized to be a candidate of the elections, and then he can stand as a candidate for the elections, and further the process can be put up. Scrutiny of election expenses. Election Commission also scrutinizes or supervises the accounts of election expenses submitted by the contestants, how much they have spent, what all things are being done for the elections, in order to downplay the role of money influencing on the elections, so that people, those who are wealthy, do not influence the voters and get more votes and win the thing. So that is also checked by the Election Commission also. And you can say all the contesting candidates have to submit a statement of accounts to the returning officers, how much money they have, what they have spent for canvassing or for their particular, you can say, advertising of their candidature. The election of the winning candidate can be declared invalid if there was a malpractice, and that can also be checked by the returning officer and declared by the Election Commission that this is a malpractice done over there, and that is why this particular candidate's winning is invalid. Lastly, we can say there is an advisory function of the Election Commission. And what is that? The Election Commission excuse me, under the last function, that is the advisory function, the Election Commission also advises the president or the governors of the state in respect of electoral matters, disqualification of members, as well as election disputes and petitions, whatever they have received, and other such things regarding the election. So in all these matters, they can advise the you can say president also, or the governor of the state also, if it is a matter of state elections. So these are the various powers and functions of the Election Commission. So with this, we come to the end of chapter 4, as well as we come to the end of the syllabus part for the first term. In the next module, we will be doing the question answers of this chapter, and we'll finish off the entire syllabus along with that. So with this, we come to the end. Thank you.